My name is Lauren Salaun, and I run a PR and marketing agency for entrepreneurs. So, helping heart centered leaders, personal brands to elevate their visibility, elevate their credibility, and scale their business with less effort through PR and strategic visibility. So, helping people get onto podcasts, get media publications, just be seen more. And I also support a lot of women and some men with owning their voice, with being like showing up really authentically and powerfully in the world, self-expression, all that kind of stuff. Bonnie has helped me a lot with webinar strategy and with Reels strategy and best practices for both. So when it comes to webinars, I had a webinar presentation that I would run live pretty frequently for my PR and marketing business that worked quite successfully. I was great at presenting it, really comfortable presenting it, would always get really, really amazing feedback, and wasn't always really sure how to sell really effectively in it. And so Bonnie was able to, she went through the entire presentation, like slide by slide, gave me really powerful feedback for how to make tweaks, adjustments. And it wasn't necessarily like huge, crazy things like reworking the entire thing, but really intentional strategic shifts to make my presentation even more effective for my ideal client, right? So how I could position myself even more as an authority, even more as an expert in what I do, how I could make sure I was really speaking to my ideal clients' needs, desires, right? So that I could make sure I was getting like into their emotions, getting into their needs, like really kind of like hooking them in a way that would be much more effective for converting them as clients, for enrolling them into my programs. Bonnie really helped me with how to speak to their needs, their pain points, their desires much more effectively, how to present my offer much more powerfully, much more confidently, how I should split my timing with my slides. Like, okay, this number of slides should be focused on this many slides you want to focus here, and then this many for sales, like, right? So really helping me take a very strategic and intentional approach to my webinar, to my presentation, that still allowed it to feel very authentic, very much my own, and made it, more converting, higher converting for my audience, and made it so that it was more impactful for my audience as well, without like completely needing to that was really, really helpful. So with Bonnie's strategic input, guidance, feedback on my go-to, like the webinar presentation that I use the most, those tweaks that I made with her support, it allowed me to feel so much more confident every time I gave that presentation, feeling so much more like I had a presentation that was going to be much more effective at converting. So I felt even more confident every time I would present that webinar. And I was able to use those same tips, that same framework, all of the things that I learned from Bonnie with that specific presentation in all the other presentations I've done, whether it's for my PR business or other programs and projects that I'm working on. The Reels, Bonnie has been super helpful. So one of the things that Bonnie is so good at is being able to observe trends, whether it is like on social media, presentations, you name it. And she has dove into like everything when it comes to Reels, and really looks at the analytics and like what's working in various industries, various types of content, all of that, and is able to simplify it in a really beautiful way, so that all the feedback and coaching that she's given me has allowed me to feel much less like, allowed me to feel like making Reels, creating Reels was less work and less intense and like less stress and way more fun, way easier. And I felt like the reels that I'm making are much more targeted and much more effective as well. And so she is keeping her finger on the pulse with reels trends, analytics, all that kind of stuff, to be able to provide support and guidance on what will really work for you, what would really work for me. And I've noticed that just in, after a couple calls with Bonnie, when it comes to reel strategy, like my creation of reels has become much easier, much more fun, faster. And I've been creating reels that are actually bringing in more followers, more leads, like much more strategic as well, not like all over the place. So it's been super effective for that. And I've been having so much more fun with it. Feels like way less work, way less pressure, way less of a burden. So that has been incredible and so, so helpful. She breaks it down in a way that it, on the outside, like for me, if I was doing all the work and research that Bonnie is doing, it feels like a lot, and like, oh my gosh, my brain doesn't want to go there. And she's able to cull it all down and explain it in a way that makes so much sense and really simplifies it. What I would tell you, if you are feeling a little unsure, hesitant, whatever it is, but you're thinking about working with Bonnie, I would highly, highly recommend you move forward and jump on in, because I highly trust her. I know that she puts in the work, does the research to make sure she is on top of all of these things. She has the results to show for it. She has helped so many people, including myself. So I would just say, jump on in and go for it. You're going to learn a lot. It's going to make things so much easier for you. And it's going to help you in converting, in attracting more followers, clients, making your content more effective overall. Such an expert at, and has been really supportive with for me and my businesses, is outsourcing team, like how to find interns, virtual assistants, team members to really take a lot off of my plate and be able to simplify systems, processes, all of that stuff, which, like, if you're anything like me, like I want more of my time back, right? Like I want to keep as much time and energy for myself and everything as possible. And so being able to delegate and feel really confident in delegating is so important. And Bonnie is absolutely an expert at supporting business owners, entrepreneurs, teams with really effective and cost-effective too delegation and team outsourcing.